Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through the crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera or Hbar. And before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to wish you all a happy new year. I hope everybody has a great day today. I hope everybody's having, a great week. I hope everybody has a great weekend as well. But overall, today we're going to be focusing on some interesting things behind Hedera, pretty much solidifying, exactly why we hold Hbar, even though, the price action hasn't been incredible. We're going to be talking a little bit about the price chart, nothing too crazy, but with all of that in mind, sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask you guys to please leave a like. It does help the channel grow immensely, and I do greatly appreciate it. But overall, right now, we're focusing on the market sentiment. So right now, everybody is, a little bit bearish, a little bit bullish. Overall, I think that this is just, tax implication, pretty much profit taking, and it's not really profit taking. I think that a lot of individuals are actually taking a loss right now and welcoming in taking a loss so that they could write off, pretty much, what they are, pretty much losing on their trades. You could pretty much sell right now at a loss, rebuy in, and pretty much write off that loss, which a lot of individuals will essentially do, especially if you have been in the market for a fairly long time. You'd probably understand why individuals are doing this. But overall, I'm not too, concerned with the current market sentiment and, the current market price action. I told you guys just recently in terms of Hbar, as long as we kind of hold this 27 centile range, I'm fairly bullish. But if we do lose this, yeah, we're going to retest some lows, possibly around the 22 cents range, which is fine with me. I kind of look at the area that we're at now, similar to the point where we were at in September. Like, if we do go down as low as those September lows, yeah, we'll probably retest around this point here at about 20 cents, or even maybe, 22 cents exact, which we tested back in September, which is fine with me, realistically, because, I've just been watching the market closely here, and I'm really not concerned because I still believe that in 2022, we're going to see a massive year for crypto. Crypto adoption is not slowing down. I think that there's going to be a ton of retail individuals that are going to be exposed to crypto. We even see crypto exchanges trying to pretty much get into ad spots for the Super Bowl. I think that that's a perfect, way of getting into the retail individual households. We even seen, them moving in on sports, UFC, partnering with Crypto.com. We've seen Crypto.com partnering in the F1 series. I think that 2022 is going to be the year where retail individuals really get pushed into getting into crypto. I think that they're going to learn it. I think that they're going to, find out that, listen, crypto is emerging technologies that are going to pretty much change the way everyday life is pretty much constructed. But of course, right now, in terms of the market sentiment and the price action, I get it. Individuals are a little bit concerned, but there's two major areas to watch for. Okay, so we have the bullish sentiment for Hbar, which is a break above 35 cents and a daily or even a weekly candle close for Hbar. Now today is the monthly candle close to close out 2021. It's not looking too good, but overall, I'm not too concerned with that. In fact, I'm actually concerned with the weekly candle close. I think that the weekly candle close this week could actually get very bullish for us if everybody pretty much jumps back in the market that took that little bit of a tax hit, which I think that this is pretty much that. I will say this though, I am focusing on just two key levels, and that is the bullish price action, which is up here, and the bearish price action, which is down here. So I'm waiting for one of these to be validated. It's always good to DCA up, then DCA down while it continues to dip. Okay, so if we do break this, I'm going to be buying pretty much at around 20 some cents, like 22 to like 24 cents is pretty much my point of demand. That's the demand zones going back to the beginning of this month almost. And if we do break over this, if I do have any spare fiat and if I do want to buy Hbar above 35 cents, I'll probably buy it. But I'm not too focused on buying Hbar. I told you guys that my bags have been packed for a fairly long time, but I do want to talk to you guys about more things, right? That solidifies our future. So FS Insight. Okay, now this is actually pretty interesting because they are an award-winning research used by hedge funds and banks. And we do see here, shout out to Parabolic Hbar. Research by FS Insight is designed for hedge funds and banks. Check out the bullish review on Hedera. Now this is research only available to banks and hedge funds until now. Now the best part about this is, we already have some info here, but check this out. Hedera, emerging DApp ecosystem powered by next-gen consensus. And I just want to say, next gen consensus. This is the next generation in terms of crypto technology. I've always said that, and I've always said that this is going to essentially be the future of crypto. I think that HBAR, and trust me, I don't say this to provide hopium or anything like that, but I've always said that Hedera has the potential to essentially, pretty much replace Bitcoin for the #1 spot, which we have not seen ever before. But I do think that HBAR definitely has the power to do so. A lot of people have been concerned with the price per fee on HBAR, but the reason why the fee has to be so low, and the reason why there has to be so much HBAR out there, the 50 billion supply, which a lot of people think is such a bad thing, it's to power this massive ecosystem. Okay. And of course, we're seeing, scalable transaction fees, built on, hashgraph technology, which they're realizing the power behind this as well. Notable governing council, material progress towards decentralization, which we know that Hedera is essentially the most decentralized exchange, or not exchange, ecosystem out there, which a lot of people, again, talk down on. Early use cases show promise as well. There's a lot of use cases within this that are seeing, COVID-19 vaccine, transportation of, temperature sensitive. They're storing it, tracking it, all that kind of stuff. Track and trace is perfect for this. We're also seeing a social media app, which they're mentioning Galaxy here. They're also talking about GoMint. They're talking about tokenization. They understand the use case behind this. And of course, they do see what are the risks. They're pretty much talking about, remain unfilled, and, iterative approach to token distribution may impact decentralization. But I really don't see that. And of course, we're seeing, the introduction to Hedera. They're seeing, the description, key features, services, value proposition. Overall, they're pretty much just welcoming individuals into learning about Hedera, knowing about this massive technology. They're pretty much giving you guys the milestones. They're talking to you guys about pretty much who Hedera is. They're even seeing, they're showing you guys the Hedera's governing council, and then they're seeing new to the council since last report. So I don't know when the last report was on this, but we know that they have grown astronomically since then, because look at some of these big names here, which I've talked to you guys about. FIS, I talked to you guys about EDF. ServiceNow is also, massive. I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about YPro, though, because YPro is fairly interesting. But we also are seeing, near-term development roadmap. They are noticing the fact that we're seeing, longer-term scheduled transactions. They're going to execute once sufficient signatures are collected or at a specific time. Scalable smart contracts, which I've talked to you guys about, it's going to be huge. And yeah, they're also seeing staking. So we have a very bright future to look forward to in terms of HBAR. They're also mentioning the token service, which in terms of the token service, this is going to be large at scale. I mean, the amount of transactions that will flow over the Hedera network due to the token service alone is going to be extremely incredible. Also, in terms of the token service, we are seeing almost 100 NFT projects on Hedera. There's 72 right now. Shout out to HBAR to the moon for this. But there's 72 currently that are fully built out, and I'm very excited for this. In fact, I think that we're going to see a lot more NFT projects coming to this space for Hedera, and I think that we have the potential to pretty much, overthrow Ethereum in terms of retail demand because of how affordable NFT projects are on Hedera. We also see world will go crazy when Apple joins Hedera. Now, I don't necessarily believe that Apple is going to be the next, major name for Hedera in terms of a GC member, just because they are connected with YPro. But I will say this, I do think that almost at some point in time, we will see some major names join the GC member, and I do believe that Apple essentially will become one. But we do know from YPro's partner system, they have a ton of big names on, their partners ecosystem currently, and the number one that really kind of points or stands out to me is Microsoft. That points back all to massive, other partnerships. There's major connections between Microsoft and Hedera. Honestly, I would not be surprised if Microsoft was a major GC member, or if they were already working with Hedera currently. There's just probably NDAs set in place, but this partner ecosystem is huge in terms of the amount of names that are on here. You can pretty much see the A2H here, as well as even the H2S and S2Z. There's massive amounts of names on here. And yeah, I think that this is incredible. I think that we're going to see a lot more names being, pretty much thrown up for Hedera in terms of GC members, a lot of individuals speculating, but I still think that at some point in time, Microsoft definitely is going to be one of them. And in terms of the token service, I do want to talk to you guys about NFTs and how they have been growing. We're even seeing leading toy makers launch NFTs on carbon neutral blockchain. Now, they are launching this on this WAX or WAX pretty much exchange. So, in terms of this NFT marketplace, I think that this is interesting, but I want you guys to understand that they're not choosing Ethereum. They're choosing, guess what? Carbon neutral blockchains. The reason for this is because they obviously understand the problems within, Ethereum. That's why I do think that Hedera is also going to be a #1 leading name for NFTs and also just launches in general for major NFT projects. We even seen Ferrari move into NFTs. We even see Ferrari's new deal with blockchain firm Velas hints at NFTs. And like I said, these are some big names. I think that we're going to see a lot more bigger names join in on the fun for crypto adoption. We've seen UFC, we've seen F1, we've even seen Crypto.com buy whole stadiums and put their name on it. So I do think that 2021 was the year that we got eased into crypto in general, and I think that 2022 is going to be the year that it really explodes out on the scene. Also, we go back in time a little bit, creating NFTs with Hedera and Proven DB. When we're talking about NFTs and how big they are, don't get me wrong. I think that NFTs have a ton of utility behind them. We're even seeing here tokenizing my dog. You can pretty much tokenize everything. Tokenization is going to be so much bigger than anything that anybody's pretty much seen. I think that tokenization is going to take over at such a rapid pace, and I think that a lot of the things that will be tokenized, people are going to be really surprised by. It's not just JPEGs on a screen anymore, and we actually see here, they actually tokenized their dog. It's actually pretty interesting. So this is going to be very cool, and in terms of, the gas fees and all that kind of stuff, we know that Hedera is providing the cheapest, the lowest cost, and also the most sustainable NFT ecosystems for anybody who does want to tokenize, things of interest, like for example, their dogs. And when we're talking about the Hedera token service, we know that this is done without a smart contract. But even if you wanted to use smart contracts, we're seeing those massively scalable smart contracts coming to the ecosystem in 2022. That's why I do think that 2022 is going to be so much bigger than anybody does expect. And of course, we do see, a lot of the tokenization, services and use cases here labeled. We know about FPOS or FPOS. We know about DLA Piper. We know about Infinite Baisuku and Rectify as well. These are major, use cases. And I really don't think that a lot of the individuals in this market are truly seeing, how big Hedera will be. All you really have to do is look at these fees, okay? In terms of the fees, for a lot of these, use cases, for example, creating and minting a fungible token, $1, you're not seeing that anywhere else. Even on XLM Stellar Lumens, it's $1.50. I know it's an extra 50 cents. I'm just saying in general, Hedera's offering the lowest cost, for this. Creating a non-fungible token class, $1. Mint a non-fungible token, 5 cents. 5 cents for associating an account with a token. I mean, this is seriously revolutionary technology. And you can pretty much even see, the Hedera consensus service in terms of fees as well. This is very revolutionary, and especially when, we're talking about how large NFTs have been becoming, in terms of building and investing. We even see here Web3, AR/VR, and Unity developers will be necessary. NFTs 2.0 will change the world forever. Communities and connections will take a huge role in all of this. 2022 will be interesting to see, and it definitely will be because, right now, Hedera is perfectly positioned to be a massive leading name. But in terms of their roadmap for 2022, I just can't seem to not be extremely bullish because 2022, I truly do believe we're going to see some major updates. And they actually changed a little bit about what we're actually seeing in terms of 2022. I mean, we're seeing a little bit of, some of this pushed into quarter one. Well, I mean, essentially in terms of, what we're seeing in quarter four, we've seen some major updates in quarter four, but some of these haven't even come to fruition just yet. But quarter one and quarter two of 2022 are going to be very interesting just because of two things. And that is scalable smart contracts, which I think are going to be massive for growth on Hedera, but also staking, which we know staking, it's a little bit of a touchy subject right now with, the SEC, but I think that once this actually comes into play, I definitely think you're going to be wanting to hold HBAR at that point, because we know that staking in general has allowed for a lot of projects to really explode out on the scene. We know a lot of individuals demand staking, especially in terms of these major networks. But also, staking HBAR in my mind is like, it's honestly just getting free lottery tickets at that point. But with all of that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. That's been Nick. Peace out, guys.